Hey, what is up guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Smurfy and today we are playing Blue-Red Phoenix in Pioneer. So the deck is really good fun and it's really powerful as well. It recently won the Legacy European Championship in Sofia and it went 12-1-2. It doesn't say who won, but whoever won, congratulations to you. I think the main deck is pretty standard at this point. I don't think there's too much innovation gone on. The sideboard I have slightly changed. I took out the two, I want to say Sahili, is it called? Let me just see. Yeah, I took out the two Sahilis because I have no idea what they're in there for. And I replaced them with, I want to say, an Aether Gust and a Sprite Dragon. I just found that having more pressure early game and more ways to pressure your opponent in the skies is really nice. And Aether Gust is always good. So if you are not familiar with the deck, it is pretty straightforward. You play the best spells in the format, which are Treasure Cruise and Temporal Trespass. You copy them with Galvantic Iteration, and you just kill your opponent with Phoenixes and Ledger Shredders. We are playing the spicy one-off Thing in the Ice, which everyone seems to play. Really enjoyed playing with this card, it's just a lot of fun. And we do get 19 lands plus 2 from our Spikefield Hazards, so nice, good, consistent land drops in the deck. Anyway, let's get into a game. Alright, let's see what we've got. Our opponent's on the play. We've got some lands, we've got some cantrips. Yeah, we'll go ahead and keep this. See what our opponent's on. They haven't got a companion. Actually, I don't think in Pioneer many decks do have companions. Opponent just wishing us good luck. Turn 1, play a blue-white tapped land. Sure. Lightning Hack's probably not going to be very helpful in this matchup. By the look of things, they're going to be blue-white control. And Lightning Axe is pretty much just dead because it doesn't hit Planeswalkers. Maybe they're like activate a creature land or Shark Typhoon or something. Definitely don't need the land, so we'll go ahead and put that in the graveyard. We get another land, which is okay. We're gonna alright, we didn't want that land as well, but should be fine. We'll just go ahead and pass. We don't really have anything going on at the moment, and we've probably got 3 dead cards. What are they up to? Cycle their Shark Typhoon. Damn it. We would like to have a target with our spells, but I'm sure they'll play some bigger Shark Typhoons later anyway. Opponent plays another tapped land, and it's going to pass the turn back. Well, in this situation, we do at least get to hit all of our land drops, which is very nice. Yeah, that's definitely going in the graveyard, and we get Phoenix. Phoenix is fine. I think we just play the Storm. I think here. Yeah. It's a good land to have in this matchup. Very hard to interact with. Gives you a good bit of flood protection, I want to say. I don't know, but it's great. If you end up getting to enough mana to play it, it's fantastic. And if not, it comes in tapped, but it's not the end of the world. Unfortunately, we don't even have anything to do anymore, which is a little bit annoying. Cruise is pretty good, but it's probably not going to resolve. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana, so we're still 1 shy. I guess we could play a land and just tap out for it, but I think we're better off just playing the Phoenix first. We'll see what the Phoenix gets us. Hopefully they don't have the Wandering Emperor here, because if we attack and they exile it, that feels pretty bad. But I think we have to go for something. I think game 1, when you draw triple removal spell, you just have to accept that it's game 1's not going to go to plan, but that's okay. They end of turn do nothing. That's crazy. No cantrips. Opponent just plays another land. Surely you've got something. Maybe a Jace? No, not Jace, it's a fairy. Okay, they're just passing the turn back. I guess we just play a land. We don't need any more red sources, so we'll keep down the blue. Just attack, see what happens. It's going to take it. Okay. I think I'm just going to opt during our main phase because we might just find like pieces of the puzzle, a chart course, for example, and we're happy to draw those. So we do get to draw 2. Even if we did have to discard, that wouldn't have been an issue because we've got 3 spells in our hands we don't need. We draw 2 more lands. Not ideal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think we just cruise here. I'm not expecting it to resolve, but like, you got to try, right? Where's your absorb? Dovin's veto, sure. They're just not doing anything at end of turn, which seems crazy. Like, you'd expect like a Toxic Deluge, is it? 4 mana one that, like, look at the top 2 or 4. No, look at the top 4, put 2 in your hand with flashback. What do you got here? Ah, here we go, Teferi. Sure. So you're going to put that on the top of our deck, I assume? No, they're going for the draw. Okay. So they've got something going on. They're just going to pass the turn back. Yeah, get their 2 lands untapped. So they've got absorb mana up. See what we get. Another land. So you discard it, return target artifact, creature, enchantment, or planeswalker. So we could just bounce the Teferi. Or we can attack it. Well, I guess we start with the steam vents being tapped. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we're not activating our pool just yet. I think we're just going to hit the Teferi maybe. Yeah, let's go whack the Teferi. Then next time we have lethal on it. If they try and do something to our Phoenix, we can get rid of their Teferi anyway. Can you use this on your own dudes? Discard it, return to artifact to its own hand. Yeah, so you can bounce your own dudes, which is cool. I play Is It Phoenix is like my IRL deck that I have sleeved up, but I play it slightly different to how everyone else does. I don't play. It's completely suboptimal. It's not actually the correct thing to do, but I play it without the extra turn spell, without Galvantic Iteration, and I just play like 4 Treasure Cruise and go like a little bit more lower to the ground. It's definitely better with the take an extra turn spell, but I just have no way around to getting hold of any yet. Whenever you draw a card, put a loyalty counter on Teferi. Sure. So the tick up is, sorry, the 0 is draw a card. Ah, I didn't see that that was the Teferi that drew the card, so they can now use. I should have bounced that in response to this. Well, they get a freebie card, which is annoying. But we're going to just bounce this Teferi, and then we can attack this one down to kill it. Yeah, we could have had them miss out on a card there, which is frustrating. I just misunderstood which Teferi was ticking up. Because normally when you play the other one, this one, no. When you play the other one, your opponent should never get priority before you tick up your Planeswalker, for obvious reasons, because they don't have priority over you in your turn. So normally you play a Planeswalker and you activate it straight away. But because they wanted to get the extra loyalty, they played it and then activated a different Teferi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can now activate, and then they would have to activate their Field of Ruin, meaning they couldn't answer this Teferi here. Sorry, answer our Arclight hitting the Teferi, which seems pretty good. So let's go land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Turn this into a 7/7. They're now going to respond by Field of Ruining it. That's fine. What we're going to do is... Sorry, I got a fly in here. So we're going to tap for blue, and then we can activate... then the Field of Ruin resolves. We go get an island. And then the trigger fizzles because the land isn't there. But we can use our blue, cast Opt, try and find something else to do. Another Lava Axe, obviously not ideal. We draw a Phoenix, which is okay, I guess. And we're just going to attack Teferi and I assume kill it. So I've only got 2 mana open. I really hope they do not have a removal spell here. Like, obviously we could just win out of nowhere because we have the Temporal Mastery plus Galvanic Iteration to copy it, to just have 2 turns. But it's just so hard for them to resolve at this point in the game. Like, we just didn't apply enough pressure early because we just have a bunch of, like, 1 mana removal spells in hand which do nothing against this against our opponent. They're gonna exile it with the X white spell. Fucking hell, there's a fly around my face, sorry. What did they reveal? Absorb and Verdict. Jesus Christ. So we'll wait for our opponent to exile it, which they do, and we're just going to concede. We could keep playing it out, but I mean, they've got a Teferi in play, they've got Absorb up, they're going to draw 2 cards a turn, they've got a Verdict, like, this game is over. So what we want to do is take out the Fiery Impulses, take out the Lightning Axe, we want the more creatures, Mystical Dispute is good, and probably all 3 of the Disdainful Strokes, and then take out the Spikefield Hazards. They don't really do anything. I mean, we could keep 1 in just to use it as a tapped mountain, but that seems very suboptimal. Yeah, that looks much better. We're playing a split of 3 Crackling Drake and 1 Sprite Dragon. The reason for that is Crackling Drake is great, but in multiples it feels really clunky, and also there's certain matchups where you just can't play it early enough. So I just like having an extra Sprite Dragon just as another creature that you can use to kill your opponent, pressure their planeswalkers and things like that. We're just going to try and... Well, we should have a significantly better matchup now because we just don't have all these useless 1 mana red removal spells in hand. Like, what is the worst card in our deck in this point? Like, these all seem great against our opponent. Opponent is having a bit of a think for their sideboard. They've probably got a little bit more of a complicated sideboard than we do. I guess you could consider something like this if you really needed something, but to pressure planeswalkers, but that seems terrible. You won the die roll. Would you like to play first? We would. We didn't win the dice roll, but thanks anyway, Modo. We're on the play with 2 considers, so it's quite likely that we hit our next land drop. And if we do, we then can play Shredder, but we are just really desperate for lands. I think we'll keep just on the fact that we have double consider. Should be okay. We've got the Shredder, and we've got a Treasure Cruise to catch back up if we miss a little bit. So yeah, we'll pay the 2 life and we'll just pass. We've got end of turn, consider, and then when we draw for turn, if we've drawn a land, we can just slam the Shredder. We definitely want to keep that on top. Sucks for our Treasure Cruise, but our land drops are more important right now. So yeah, we'll go play the land. We'll play the Shredder. It's really good to get this down early, and then we can just be doing things like consider end of their turn, Mystical Dispute anything they've got, and hopefully do some looting and get this Phoenix in the bin. Opponent shocks for their Hallowed Fountain. Sure. Lay down arms. Exile target creature with mana value less or equal to the number of planes you control. Very nice. So our shredder is gone. It's not a problem. We've got plenty more where that came from. And another land right off the top, like a champ. Let's just go ahead and consider straight away. We might find something else to do with our mana. Another consider. Sure, we'll keep that. Spell Pierce. I wouldn't mind a Spell Pierce to go along with our Mystical Dispute, but we haven't got a land for next turn, and we've got Crackling Drake and things, so I think we're just going to put that into our graveyard and try and find more lands, because we just want to hit our land drops. So just going to cycle Sensor, end of turn. Lay Down Arms was pretty good there. Exile target creature with mana value less or equal to the number of planes you control. Very strange card. Reminds me of things like Corrupt. Is it Corrupt and Nightmare? Things like based off how many of a certain type. Normally Swamp or Blanchwood Armor and Dungrove Elder for forests and stuff. I really like those kind of cards. We draw a land, but it is tapped. That's fine. We'll go ahead and play that and pass. And now if our opponent wants to... Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we're still short on Cruise. Even if we can just Cruise with Dispute up, that should just be really powerful. They're just going to cycle. That's fine. Play their planes. And they're just shipping it back to us. Okay, this is a really big turn to draw a land. No. That's fine. Let's go ahead and opt. Shredder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is going to be 5 cards in our graveyard. I think we want to keep the Shredder. If they've got a counter spell, then we've got protection. What are they going to do? Make disappear. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 2. I think we're just going to have to let that resolve. We don't want our opponent to just untap and play a Teferi or something. That's going to be really bad for us. So this is okay. We trade 1 for 1. They play. It's basically a really bad mana leak in their deck. It's probably quite rare that they have a dude to sack. They're just gonna... Oh, they foretold a card. Sure. Again, still a land would be really nice here. Another Dispute. I think that tells us that we are definitely gonna Cruise here. So we'll draw some cards, and we pretty much can guarantee that this is going to resolve unless they have a Dovin's Veto. See what they've got. They're having a bit of a think. I think if they had a Dovin's Veto, they would have just slammed it like straight away. So this is some other counterspell, maybe Absorb or something. Mystical Dispute. Yeah, we'll just dispute it back. What else have they got? They got another one? Dovin's Veto, sure. Wait, their Dovin's Veto was... What the fuck? Did they use their Dovin's Veto on my Mystical Dispute, not on the Treasure Cruise? I don't know why they would do that. Had I have known that, obviously I would have just let the Dovin's Veto counter it, and then actually no, I probably still would have rather done this. I think that's maybe why they did it then, tried to bluff us to make us use our counterspell preemptively. much easier in real life to communicate what's happening with all your treasure cruisers and things, or your counter spells. I think we just want to resolve the Crackling Drake here. Draws us a card as well, which is obviously really good. Now, even if they like raft the board or something, or somehow kill this, we've got our value out of the card. Opponent down to just 2 cards in hand. So it puts us in a really good spot here. And another lay down arms. And they're just down to 1 card. They might want to field soon, just whilst they've got nothing to do, and get rid of this. What do we want to do here? Probably just cast the pieces, right? I think so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we can do this and then cruise. I guess we could play the Phoenixes, but I don't think that really does much. Like, we can put them on a clock with like 3 a turn and stuff, but if we can pieces, cruise, get some card advantage, then that seems much better. Oh, okay, they're going to Mystical Dispute it. That's fine. So obviously we're going to say no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're 2 away from cruising this turn, so we can't. But our opponent being Hellbent is pretty huge here. I can't believe they didn't field this then. They had like the perfect opportunity. They had no cards in hand. We were basically tapped out. Why would you not just field a Ruin at end of our turn there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It might just be better to add a clock at this point, but I think I don't really like doing that against control if you have the opportunity to do things like Treasure Cruise. Oh, they had that foretold, didn't they? Oh, nice. That'll be why they didn't field for an end of turn. Is there a way to make it so those are revealed or something? Or shown on screen? It's very easy to forget about those. Opponent cycles a sensor. Just looking for stuff to do. Another haul, okay. I guess that's why they didn't want to use the other one. What have they got here? Absorb. Sure. They're just ripping the counter spells off the top here. I guess we just play this and pass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can now activate our haul, and then obviously they're going to blow up in response, but then we can just do the next turn we can do the other one. So I still think they shouldn't blow. I think they should not blow this up now that they've seen we've got 2, because if they blow one up, it changes nothing. Whereas if they keep this up, they basically just fog us for 1 turn. They just play their planes. Okay. Otawara doesn't really change anything. I think we want a Phoenix this turn. We could activate the haul, but we know what's going to happen. Whereas this way we're developing, at least achieving something. And now our opponent just doesn't do anything with their mana for the whole turn. And I think we're going to keep this land in hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we'll keep this land in hand in case they have a Teferi or something. And we can't answer it. They're just going to fire off now. Sure. Fortunately, we've got another basic. Opponent going to get basic as well. Taking quite a while to pick a basic land. So we know they're not playing Leyline Binding because they've not played any Triumphs or anything like that. Or if you draw off the top opponent. I think we're much better suited to play off the top than our opponent because of things like treasure cruise. That's not ideal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's just activate this. We're just going to swing in here. I don't think they even play that many creature lands in their blue-white deck. They may play like one haul, but it's pretty much like I think it's an old tactic to win with creature lands in control now. Like you don't see Celestial Colonnades and stuff like that. Normally it's a Teferi or a Jace. Pretty much always a Teferi. So I clock in here for 10. Did they get anything? So partition, exile target non-land permanent. For as long as that card remains exiled, its owner may pay... Oh, sure, it just exiles and we can pay 6 to cast it again. So we can just do that next turn if we want to, but we will probably just activate our creature land. That's a pretty cool card. Really good for tempo. Like if you hit their 3-drop with this, you're a mana up on your opponent, and then if they cast it again, that's fine, but then they're 3 mana behind, even at the cost of a card, I guess. But this bounces enchantments, right? Yeah. So we can swing with the Hall and put our opponent to 4. Or we can cast the Phoenix and put them to 8 and then attack with 2 creatures next turn. That seems potentially better. Thing in the Ice. I don't want to play Thing in the Ice and Phoenix because that just doesn't play into Verdict very well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we're gonna play the Phoenix this turn. And then this way, we attack with 2 creatures next turn. I guess this way the Hall isn't lethal, but if our opponent's removing our Phoenix, I think we pretty much just win anyway. They need some sort of instant speed board wipe. It's really hard to interact with all of the Storm Giants. Opt. I think we just activate and swing, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Activate. What have they got? Otawara. So they can, sure, so they're going to bounce it. So now we get in for 3, and I don't think we've played a land, so we can just play the Hall now. Did we play a land? I'm pretty sure we didn't. Sweet. So we're threatening lethal again next turn with our land. I have no idea what our opponent could top deck. Oh, it's just a plane, so it's just game. Sweet. So sideboarding. We know they've got Rest in Peace now. It was fairly safe to assume they had it anyway, but I don't think we can really change our sideboard enough that we can do anything about it. No, there's nothing we can do. If they have the Rest in Peace, they have it. We've got Sprite Dragon and Crackling Drakes. If they do, there's other ways to kill our opponent. It does shut off our Delve and our Phoenix. but the rest of the deck still works great. So we just have to hope they don't have the rest in peace if we draw a bunch of Phoenixes. Opponent's going to be on the play again, which does make this a little bit harder. It's mostly just Teferi that I'm scared of. Other than Teferi, I'm not really too concerned about the deck. This hand isn't great. It's got lands and spells. It's got 4 lands, which is quite nice in this matchup, because we are going to be hitting, or we want to hit every single land drop. And having the Shredder early is really good. So I think we'll just play Steam Vents. We could shock. Not going to make a whole lot of difference either way. Opponent chooses to shock. Okay. I think we're just happy to chart a course here. If they want to counter it, they can do. Yeah, that's fine. I didn't really want to play a Shredder there, especially later on in the game when we can play Shredder, and then if they try to remove it, we can at least cast a cantrip and then get the looting effect, which is just a little bit of extra value. So here we're just going to slam these pieces of the puzzle, I think. Unless you want to try and save up and get 5 mana, and then we can go Galvantic into pieces, just to try and get some value that way. I think they're going to counter either of these, what we cast. I think this is pretty close on what we want to cast here, but I think we're going to go with the pieces. I'm expecting some sort of counter for this, because it is going to be a draw 2 essentially, but also like really fuel delve. Cycle Sensor. Why would they Cycle Sensor if they got something better to do? Oh, maybe they're looking for a land drop or something. I don't know. It looks like it would have been great there just to cast Sensor. And they're vetoing it, sure. Judging by the fact that they censored, maybe they were just trying to get more information on what they're going to draw and then decide on what counterspell they want to use. Maybe they've got Make Disappear. Because Make Disappear hits creatures, whereas Dovin's Veto doesn't. So that'd be a reason to consider which one to use there. Whereas Dovin's Veto is obviously better in every other situation. I think what we want to do is play this and play the Shredder. Because then if they want to go end of turn Deluge or the 4-mana Planeswalker, or we can just Disdainful Stroke either. If we play the Phoenix and they have the Planeswalker, that's really bad. So yeah, I think we want to play the Shredder. And this also plays around Make Disappear. And we're just going to pass the turn. Shark Typhoon. That's fine. Obviously we can't counter it anyway, but I thought that was going to be a Deluge. And if it was, I think I'd have to let it resolve, because we just don't want them to untap into Fairy. Really hope they were just going to slam into Fairy there, so we had something to Disdainful Stroke. Sadly not. Okay, op's a good start. Let's see what we've got. Phoenix. Yeah, I don't really want Phoenixes. Another Disdainful Stroke. I'm happy to pay the life here. Don't think it's hugely relevant. And I wonder if they'll block. Because we are threatening just to connive. Okay, sure. They bounce. That's fine. We don't lose anything from attacking there unless they had another Shark Typhoon. Ah, there's the Emperor. Let's go ahead and counter that. And thank you very much for giving us a Shredder trigger. And they are mystical disputing it. So let's loot from their 2 spells first. Discard the Phoenix. Mystical Dispute resolves. Obviously we can't pay it. Nope. Then the next Shredder trigger resolves. And what do we discard? Do we just discard Galvantic Iteration? No, it's so good for value, right? Because then the next time we can go Galvantic Iteration, Charter Course, and then it's in the graveyard to use on something else as well. I kind of want to discard this land. That's so greedy. If they have a Teferi and they just untap and play Teferi, this is obviously really bad, but with only 2 cards in hand, I think it's worth to trying to get the Emperor not to resolve. Please don't be a Teferi. Okay, that's fine. Yes, we can untap, attack, then Iteration, Charter Course, draw 4 cards, and then have this in our graveyard for if we draw a Delve spell soon. So things are looking really, really good for us here. So yeah, we'll go play the land first. Even if they somehow kill the Shredder, as long as we get to attack with it, I don't think we care, because we're just going to draw 4 cards. Yeah, they're not even going to bother blocking with their Shark token. There's not really any point. So 1, 2 mana, cast Iteration. You're going to counter it? Counter Tiger Spell. Sure. We still get to draw 2. And we've got it in the graveyard for later. So we basically just mill 1 and potentially put a counter on it, which we do. And then we get to draw 2. These look great. I don't see any reason... Actually, yeah, it probably would have been better there to... Oh, no. I guess you could consider and try and look for Treasure Cruise. But if we drew a Treasure Cruise, we'd still rather wait and use Galvantic Iteration, so that makes no difference to us. Oh, our opponent doing the... doing good work here with their Shark Typhoon. Are they up to anything else? Three mana. Let's go ahead and consider. Crackling Drake. Yeah, I think we'll take a Crackling Drake in this situation. Shredder is gone. But we have an absolutely huge Drake to cast here. Oh, do we want to just double Treasure Cruise? Probably. So, red, 1, 1. Cast this. Oh, did I tap that for blue? Red, blue, blue. Cast this. Dovin's Veto. Well, that's no fun. That's okay, we still get to cruise once. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cast the cruise. We've cast 2 spells, so 1 more and we can Phoenix. That's unfortunate that we can't. I guess we could just cast this to get the Phoenix back. That seems pretty ridiculous though. What else does it do? It also fuels Delve, but you generally don't delve it anyway. You normally cast it and then delve. So I think we just pass here. Playing off the top when you've got Treasure Cruise and Galvanic Iteration and Crackling Drakes in your deck, it just feels so unfair. So they foretold the counter spell. So we can at least double Treasure Cruise here. So red, blue, copy a spell. This feels so unfair. Sure. So let's go red, colorless, whatever. Do it again. Fuck, we can't Treasure Cruise with this many cards. Oh my god. I just assumed we could do it. We don't have enough fucking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Fuck. Oh my god, I completely threw that. That was such a huge misplay. That's unreal. I just took for granted that we could cast Cruise. Red, 2. Play the Drake. We need to win soon, because I'm only down to 4 minutes on the clock. So I need to try and get this game over with. Mystical Dispute. Sure. Well, we can't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If they draw a Teferi, they can't cast it. Well, they can, but they can't get it through Spell Pierce. So I think we're going to wait a turn. Is that greedy? Yeah, I think I'd rather just pieces. If they draw the Teferi, then that sucks, but we can Fuel Cruise this way and try and take an extra turn spell, and then with the Sprite Dragon try and close the game out quickly. If they're activating Field here, it's a very bad time to do it. Why would you do it now? Now you've just given us extra mana to play with. Okay, that's fine. We'll take the Temporal Trespass. That's all we needed. And we'll pass the turn. So now we've got 11? Yeah, 11 cards in our graveyard and 2 Phoenixes. Opponent's going to whack us for 2. Oh no, they want to keep that back. So red, blue, play the Sprite Dragon. Wait, is it better to Cruise first? It'll reduce our lands, sorry, our Delve this turn, but then next turn we could potentially bring back 2 Phoenixes, or even this turn we could bring back 2 Phoenixes. Yeah, I think we want to Cruise. How much do we do it for? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that. Just want to find some more spells, bring back these Phoenixes and put a real clock on, and then next turn with Disdainful Stroke plus Spell Pierce, I assume this will resolve. Actually no, Absorbent stuff wouldn't be very good. This was perfect what we've drawn here. We can just opt a bunch. Make this Sprite Dragon nice and big. There is no justice in this world. I do not deserve to win after casting Iteration and then flashing it back and not being able to do anything with it. Oh, that's so funny. No, I don't think we need a Shredder. We'll play a bunch of ops. Played a land, haven't we? Oh, we haven't. So they're probably going to trade with the Phoenix here. Which is cool. And then we'll just pass the turn. We could have pieces instead of casting that second opt. Maybe that would have been better. What have they drawn? Oh, sure. He's going to whack us for 7 and then concede. I think so. Or are they just going for the ultimate? They've given up and they just want to offer the clock to kill us next turn. Yeah, that's probably it. So let's just go 1, 2, 3. I don't think there's anything they can do, so we're just going to Phoenix. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cast this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they concede. Yeah, completely butchered that game. But fortunately we managed to get the W. Looking back at the deck, I definitely need to get some more practice in on a Modo with Delve spells, because in real life it's very easy just to look at your graveyard and have a look, but on Modo I don't know why, I just take things for granted. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to see more content, please feel free to subscribe. I do try to do like a different deck each week, but it will not, well, I try to do a couple of videos each week. Depends on how burnt out I feel, depending on after like Magic events and stuff like that. But if you want to see more content, feel free to subscribe. If you want to see any decks in particular, feel free to leave a comment. I have access to pretty much any deck in Modern, and I guess we can play Pioneer again, and Arena as well. So if there's any decks you want to see played, any formats you want to see played, let me know. And if you want to have the deck list or anything, just leave a comment. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.